Hello, this is Farmer George. I'm not going to keep talking like that. I'll just show you how to do the silage automated on CoursePlay. You set a start point. I'll show you draft forwards. Then you have a waypoint, and you have another waypoint at the other end of the silage bay. Generally where it switches onto your shovel and shows you. I'm going to record it in a minute, but I'm just showing you it working. And I'll do this course again for you just to show you. It's driving automatically, so if I just get my mouse on, I can show you that we are in CoursePlay. There it is. It's driving it. I aren't driving the tractor. Okay, and it's just the standard tractor you get in the game, not the big shovel loader. And you can see the eggs. Look. It's setting its shovel on its own and it's tipping. The idea in this is that you only set 3 waypoints, and the 3 are important. You can't have any more than 3 or else it won't work. And I see people doing how-to videos and putting 4 points in, then saying I don't understand why it works. Why don't they practice these things before they do them? Right, we're going to try and record this course again without any reversing turns. So I like to start here based on the fact that I've got this lane is going forwards on the lane nearest to the bush. I'll just show you. As far as I'm concerned, vehicles drive, or this particular vehicle that's loading this shovel drives through here this way to, if I was doing bay 1, it would be a waypoint there. The first waypoint will be there. The second waypoint for bay, the first waypoint for bay 2 will be there, etc. for 3, and it's out from the wall, not in. So the waypoint is there, perhaps just in the first third of the wall, so that it then turns in, like so. Right, and in my mind, of course, I've got this other exit point from, if you're reversing out of these bunkers, which there's no need to do, we're just making it awkward for ourselves, but I'm just showing that you can do it, is to drive out through this half near the bush if you're just making 2 lanes through here. I actually make 3 lanes and it works fine. I've got loads of vehicles drive through here. Anyway, never mind, let's go in another game. This is an earlier start game. So what I'm saying is I'm starting just before the edge of that bunker wall. It's not too tight, but it's just to clear that bunker wall. If I have 2 or 3 or 4 of these tractors all working in here at the same time, you know, you can have small tractors, you can have 2 working on the same CoursePlay course, so long as they don't bump into each other. So we're going to try and record this without making a reversing turn. So I'm going to use cruise control 1 to drive to the mouth of that bunker number 2. And just about here we will set a waypoint, because we're saying between this waypoint 1, it doesn't have to be right at the start of the bunker, it's not that finicky. It's just saying between that point and this next point, fill the shovel. That's all it's for. And I could have driven this faster, but look, it's filled the shovel already. We're going up the hill, and the trick is to reverse without turning. Of course, that's what we want to do. So when we've got to the edge of this silage, then we will set another waypoint. So between them first and second waypoints is, and that's a wait point, not a waypoint, that is where it says fill the shovel. Then we're going to change direction to reverse, which has got nothing to do with the waypoint. Okay? And we're going to try and reverse without turning. It's slightly off course, that's because of the bump we went over. And we're going to reverse out past this waypoint, the first waypoint sign. So maybe about there, in line with the bushes. Obviously, depending on what map you're playing on, you can use your own visual markers. So we don't need to set a waypoint. All we're going to do now is change direction. Note that we have not set a waypoint. You only need 3 waypoints. The first and the second say fill the shovel between these 2 points. The third one says empty the shovel at this point. Okay, so I'm going to set cruise control 1, which is set to slow. It doesn't really matter how fast this goes because CoursePlay is going to be driving the course, and I'm trying to turn this tractor without making any really tight turns, so it seems to be tight turns that give it grief. Okay, then you can turn in here just around the start point, and as we approach about the same distance the tractor is from that line as it is to the bunker, we'll turn in. And what I'm going to do is just stop there for the moment because I want to make sure my shovel's high enough to clear the wall, and it will be about that height when it goes in my pre-unloading position. So I'll just drive up to the wall, and the idea is to look down on top of it just to keep it straight, because you might have different widths of shovel going in here, but all I do is I use this tractor, this small one. I know people get these ones with the 10,000 litre buckets on and all that business. There's no point, it's not realistic, you know. There's a shovel that you can use in a mod that can fill a whole truck. It's obviously not right. It can fill a whole truck that's 10 times the size of the shovel, and yet the shovel can fill the whole truck in one go because it's set to just do it once. If you're going to mess about like that, why bother playing the game in the first place? Anyhow, so now we need to set a wait point. This is saying this is where to empty the shovel, please. Right, so now we're going to reverse without turning. So I've changed the course, and I said before, and I'll say it again, the reversing's got nothing to do with the wait point. You can set straight. We're only going to reverse far enough so that we can drive forwards and turn. So I'll drive back to about here. I'll change direction, and we're going to go forwards on the slow tempomat and try and turn this vehicle around. Or just, it doesn't even need to be a full turn. We'll just do it gently, and we're going to turn to there, because now it will make a beeline for that itself from there to back to the start point. So I'll stop the course recording here. As for the shovel, you'll notice there's the shovel, but it won't come on until you select this corner icon. If you have all these on, that's not on. Okay, the last one in this row, there, watch it come on. Yep, and then you switch to that. Now if I was to mess all these shovel points up, they're already set, but I could just click on that. That's messed it up. Now all them shovel points are all the same as that. So the way you do it is you angle the shovel for loading position, which would be about there. Okay, that's my loading position. So I will set, click it, that loads it. The transport position will be about that. Again, remember to treat this vehicle like it was a forklift truck and keep your centre of gravity of your load as low as your centre of gravity of your wheel, your centre of your wheels. That way it won't tip up when you're turning and things. So we're on flat level ground here, so it should have no problems. Transport position, so we'll now click that. That set it to that. The pre-unloading position we want is going to be sort of, we'll take it to the highest point just for a laugh, but you don't really want it too high. I would have suggested maybe that height is enough. The angle on these forks here and the angle on this bucket when you're tipping it is important, so that you get the bin as empty as you can, as quickly as you can. Pre-unloading position, so we'll go like that. And of course the unloading position, which I've stopped the course recording now anyway, so we'll just go and unload, we'll just go and drop this back on the pile, because I haven't got much of the pile left, and also the thing looks like it's nearly full. So let me just drop that on the pile. I'll take it nice and high. As I run back down this heap, it'll fill the shovel up again. Hooray! Got it to empty. Right, so your unloading position is, let me just back up a bit more. Of course we're not recording the vehicle's position now, we're just recording the fork's position, as you understand. the position, the forks and the bucket for unloading. You see how this bucket is slanting? It'll still empty, you know, but it needs to also clear that step that's on the bunker over there. Okay, so we'll have that as the unloading position. Snap. And then what we'll do is we will save that and we'll call it bio. I'll call it working bay 2. Is that whirling? Whirling bay. Ursling working. Working bio. Working bay 2. So this is bay 2. Obviously you do the same for bay 3 and bay 4. You make another course up for each one. And now we can go and try that course out. Before you do that, save all your good work. Make sure you save game. That will save your CoursePlay if it all crashes. Bear in mind that there's something goes on when I'm recording. Did I say that already? That stops these things from working. But this CoursePlay is designed without any turns in the reverse. Okay, so let's see if it will work just from straight away like that. So it's gonna drive up to the first point. It will reset the shovel. It just tapped the ground. I could reset that so it's a bit higher. It's now going to turn in. And it's going slow ass. Mega slow. It's filled. Soon as it records 100% fill, it stops and starts reversing, because it's just saying CoursePlay is recording the fact that between those 2 points it is filled. So you don't have to be too accurate at where you want this to start, you see. Like people say, you've got to be just in a precise place. You don't. So now I've reversing at a straight line. That turn looks rather tight though, the forwards one. So now it turns going forwards. The only turning I've done in this course is through driving forwards. It's a bit slow, of course, but again, it doesn't really matter how slow the course is, because you're going to leave CoursePlay running driving this course while you're off doing something else. I wonder why it's doing that. It's turning off the course. It should be following the eggs, but there you are. Never mind. It's doing it alright. It's still sort of like following what I wanted it to do, although it's really slow, isn't it? I don't know why it's going really slow. Maybe it's because the computer might be running slow because it's running Fraps and it's running this game, and I've got loads of mods in this game. Tons of mods. It will tip the shovel. You see, it's put the shovel in its own position and now it's emptied. That was a bit premature, wasn't it? There you are. It did say premature. Pre-loading position, pre-unloading position. And now it's reversing in a straight line. Sort of. That last egg's a bit on the bendy, or is it off the beginning? And now it's turning round. And now that's the end of the course, so it'll have stopped. And now it's driving towards the next one. And then it's going to do it a second time. It's reset the shovel. My God, I think it's actually worked this time. It's turning in. As you can see, CoursePlay is driving this tractor because it says there stop driver. So this is its second load playback. This is what people can't get it to do. So if you appreciate the fact, oh well, you already know how to make a CoursePlay course now. With this type of course is only worth needing to reverse if you only want to work at one side of the bunker, or if the bunker's actually got an end stop to it so you can't drive through it. But these are drive-through ones, and of course you could make a simple drive-through course. So I don't understand why people make these types of courses, but there's one working. And because I haven't turned in the reverses, I haven't made any turns in reversing, it's working. So I think it's got something to do with the way CoursePlay works, and it seems to be the ones with the turns in the reverses do work, but if you record them and play them back whilst Fraps is running, that's the only correlation I've got. I mean, it'd be totally wrong. And this is cutting that corner. Look, it ain't even following the eggs, it's just driving a straight beeline for that point there where it turned again. I don't know why it does that. It should follow the eggs all the time. But there you are. Anyway, this base, the bunker's nearly full, as you can see. So I've spent the last hour recording this course over and over again just to get it working. Now it seems to be working. Let's say if it does another successful one, I ain't going to interfere with it. I know it's running slow and I know it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but you might want to sit here watching it just to prove to yourself that it does work, you know, and you can see that it is working. So I think the secret to this is, as Farmer George would say, not to turn when you're reversing. Yeah, don't turn in your reverses, just reverse straight. But so I often turn when I'm reversing, and when I'm not recording fraps, it records fine. So that was its second shovel load. 105,238. See, so that's going to just continue now. And you know, I don't want to stop the recording because it might be the stopping and starting the fraps. It seems to be working this time, so this is the end of the video really. But if you just want to sit and watch the CoursePlay play out, then fine. I can just witter on about something like this is gameplay that's from a commercially released game. The content is in the public domain, and I have got my own commentary, vocal commentary over the gameplay. It's not in-game footage that's been created for advertising or promotion of the game. It's me playing the game. That's for YouTube. And the other thing is that there's no background music. I hate background music in videos. Detest it. I like to hear the sound of the engines and stuff. And if I want music on, I can put music on. I put a bit of Stevie Wonder on, you know, in background. So CoursePlay, as you can see, is still running. Another thing as well, which is maybe important, is that I don't usually like to have the lights on, because you know when you have these lights on, the circular, the orange lights at the top, they use up your frame rate as well, I believe, and they slow down your computer. It doesn't seem to be slowing down the computer. My tractor was running that slow anyway. I recorded that slow, didn't I? So I can actually change that. I don't want to upset anything though. I just want to show you that this is working. So I'm going to leave it. Look, it's turned off the lights, as though it's like driving on a road in that little bit. I don't know how CoursePlay works technically. It stopped a little bit prematurely, didn't it, before there? That's fine, that's doing it. So I could go off now and leave that working, and it would completely empty that bay. I would bring my other trucks in, which drive in, fill in my other bays, which wouldn't interfere with this tractor at all, because it's following the ley lines of this route. That's my in to the bays from this filling point, and my out is obviously on the other side nearest the bush. Without wanting to get too many CoursePlay courses running, I could probably show you my other filling of these bays. So, and also how you could have 2 or 3 of these tractors running on the same CoursePlay. So the other one's just tipping and this one's just picking up. So the only thing with that is, to do that properly, you need to get a proper drive-through course going, I think. If you've got the option to drive through, I think you should always drive through. Yeah, through Geol. I think you should always drive through if you get the option to do it. But I've just shown you the reversing course on here because that solves it for everybody. You can make one of these courses even for this bay, can't you? It's working. So yeah, it's on its, is it on its 3rd or 4th shovel load now? Since you've seen me record it and you've seen me play it back. Alright, although I've taken my time telling you about it. But I hope that answers your questions. There is something going on with Fraps that messes with the CoursePlay course. Nothing to do with CoursePlay works fine when you're recording the course and playing it back, even with turns in your reversing, without Fraps running, or with any other because I also use the other one, what begins with a B, to record. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, anyway, by the by, so there, look, it's emptied and it's just going from the truck. It'll just keep doing that all day long until it's run out of silage, and then I'll get a little report message in my window wherever I am on the farm saying, you know, it's finished work, or the bay's full, or whatever. So there's the proof that that's working. And it's a course recorded without turning in reversing. Should we sit inside at the risk of damaging the CoursePlay? Oh, look, in my tractor. It's no GTA speed, is it? Certainly not. This is a slow tractor in reversing anyway, this one. So, I am driving, of course. Remember, CoursePlay driving. If you just come in this video, I don't know why people come in videos in the middle and then make comments saying, you know, but people do. We're just passengers sat watching CoursePlay drive this tractor. You got my Wurzelin head on today. Come on, move it. It didn't really matter how slow it's going. It's him saying, "Well, I want it to go faster than that." Well, it doesn't matter if it goes any faster than that, because you'll be off doing something else, and it's just working away slowly. Plus, because it's moving slowly, it gives other tractors the chance, if they come belting in at like 70 mile an hour, they don't stop. It's like if you increase your level 1 tempomat, your cruise control speed, whilst you're sort of like, it's just a trick or a tip to speed up your your seeding and cultivating of a field, or even ploughing. So whilst if you're driving it manually, you can't go so fast. You can only go at a certain speed with tempomat, but you can actually speed that tempomat one up, the cruise control one, by using your plus and minus on your keypad if you're using the keyboard on a PC version anyway. And you can increase your speed so that, by the way, that is all I should have mentioned this right at the beginning, shouldn't I? This is on the PC version, so if you're looking at it and expecting it to work on Xbox and asking about mods, there's not, as far as I know, there's no mods unless there are actual DLC packs you can buy for the Xbox version, because I don't actually have the Xbox version. I only have the PC version. And it's better actually because you can mess about with the game and stuff. Yeah, so what I was saying is that you can speed up the cruise control so that it's doing, like, I don't know, 23 mile an hour across the field cultivating and seeding. So it'll go a lot faster than what it can technically. If you try and do that manually, driving across the field, you'll break the plough or break the cultivator or the seeder. It'll just break away from your tractor and stop. So it's just a trick you use when you're just trying to get a field prepared, unless you're using a massive cultivator, of course. Some of these ridiculous ones. There's one cultivator. It's like, you know, it looks like it's about 100 foot long for doing the big fields with. You know, you'd need, in real life, I think you'd need about 5 tractors to pull it, but there you are. The metal would have to be super strong, wouldn't it? So, can you see that this is working? Do you believe me that CoursePlay does work? It actually persisted and recorded it over and over again, and then set it playing. And as you can see, although it's running really slow, it is just going to continue on till it empties that. And I could perhaps go off and do other things. So I think that's enough to show you that that is working. Right, that will work around the clock, and I can now go off and do other things. Yep. Ah, that was fun. I had that trailer there, I had it all loaded up, and then this claw sort of became stuck, attached to it, and the whole thing flew up in the air. It was attached to that red tractor. The red tractor, the trailer, all the logs, and this heavy vehicle all flew about 40 feet in the air, and then came down bouncing around like a balloon, like they were filled with helium, and scattered the logs all over. And I was like, I had 2 logs left to put on it. 2 logs left. So I've been planting my trees over at the back edge. Can you see them darker ones on the tree line, the tallest ones? All them taller trees are all part of my my log cutting. Let's go on. Mind you, I don't want to. This isn't about this. It isn't about forestry. But yeah, this is a nice vehicle. This, I like this. I forgot to turn the engine off. Look, I've run out of fuel. Because you should always turn the engine off. Otherwise, it just uses fuel while it's ticking over. But you need the fuel. You need the engine running in order to move the crane arm. You start up the engine, and then you can move the crane arm. But without the engine on, of course, you can't move the crane arm. But look, I had full fuel on it, and now it's only got like 117. And I've got a saw. Ooh. Don't want that. We'll just go. I'm waiting for that field of it's canola. He's still working away. $114,798. Let's be somewhere else. Keep an eye on the money. Oh, I'm annoyed about the sheep's wool because I had, and that's the tractor that was actually, it's the standard. That is the standard tractor that I was doing the sheep's wool with. Watch the money go up. 14,000, 15,000, 16, 17, 117,192. So that's just working away, and I'll be off doing something else. He has just finished that field, and you know, so it goes. Anyway, so you know that it's working now. Don't ask me where I am because I can't remember. Let me just see if I can show you. We're at the Vogelsberg map. It's Vogelsberg, and you can get that from Farming Simulator's site, the main one. It's only a small farm. It's got some big fields on it though, retrospectively. So anyway, I will do save game just to make sure that I've got everything in there. And beautiful sky, look at that sunset. That's what you live for, isn't it? Red sky at night, farmer's delight. Red sky in morning, farmer's warning. And the reason for that is that when it's a red sky at night, there is no storm the next day. When it's red sky in the morning, farmer's warning, is because there's a storm in the distance that's going to be coming along. And it's basically that the reason why the sky is red is because the sunlight is filtering through the droplets of water, which is changing the colour spectrum. I think that's exactly what it is actually, but there you are, never mind. Look at that sunset. So as you can see, that vehicle is still running, still working, and he will get on with that bay. I will have some other tractors come in here and fill them silage bays, of course. And I do believe that one there is just about ready. It's not full. It wasn't ever full. Let me put the on. Yep, its fermentation is 97%. So it needs to ferment. If you don't know how to make silage, that's the thing. People say my silage forks don't work. Well, they don't. They're not using the silage fork correctly because they're not. In order to pick up silage, you've got to have silage to pick up. People just miss that point. And when they do this, they think that is silage. That's not silage. That's chaff. That's corn that you don't pick up and put in a harvester, but you harvest it by chafing it and smashing it up. Every part of the plant up gets destroyed and chafed up, and then it gets put in here. And if you was driving over it, it'll say, look, compact is at 100%, but you have to compact it. You only need the full level to be maybe about 10% before you can actually sheet it over as well, and you'll get an R on it when you're bringing it in. You can also put grass in there as well. And then when it's compacted to 100%, you sheet it over, and then that leaves it to ferment. It's like making beer. And then when it's ready, the sheet will just come off it magically. And 97%, that'll take a while yet, but it's nearly there. And the sheet will come off it, and it'll look that colour. It's changed from this bright green here, that bright green, to this dark green. Don't run me over! Don't run me over! Don't run me over! Watch. Hit me in the face with his crutch. You're sacked, mate. Up. Can I get a ride? Can I get a ride? Nearly. If it was going forwards, perhaps. Dink. Dink. Messing with it, you're saying? Ouch. Okay. Let's just jump in with him. Right along. So you can see stop driver is on there, and it's still driving the course all on its Todd. And it doesn't really matter that it's going slow, because I see you off doing other things all the time. This is proof that it's working. You saw me build this course all in this same video and play it back to you. I suppose I should show you a straight through one, but it's just the same sort of thing, but without, you don't really need any reversing. The only place you need to reverse from is from this thing. Otherwise, if you don't reverse from this thing, it'll try to drive to the start point if you put the stop point there, of course. So you can't get away making a course for this type of silage work without creating a reverse in the course, without having a reverse in the course anywhere. But yeah, there's the proof that it's working. So thank you very much. This has been Farmer George saying keep whirling, and I'll see you another time, eh? I just thought, for a bit of a laugh, I would jump back in and show that I left that course play running, and now it's finally emptied. Taken the final 1% out, which is 77% on the full shovel, and you know, it's worked. That's that same course running from the video I just cut to this at the end, and you can see the money's 138,708. One of the best ways to make money in the game is at the beginning is to use grass. You collect grass and make silage, and people don't know how to make silage, and this is the way you make silage. You collect grass, or often chaff from corn. But if you can't afford the corn, the main problem with using corn is that you need the large corn cutters, which cost like $250,000 to buy. So grass, just put a front cutter on your tractor and use a forage wagon, collect grass, dump it in your bio or silage bay, run your tractor over it backwards and forwards till it's compacted 100%, then a button will come up to sheet it over, and then it'll start fermenting. Once it's fermented to 100%, it'll become silage. There it goes. Look, this is driving for nothing. See what it does. It'll get to the end, it'll say no more stuff left to find. Compacting is 0, fill level is 0. Now it doesn't know what to do, and that's where I get that green message at the bottom, in the bottom left hand corner, depending on how big my screen size is. I don't know if you can see it. Doots Agro Farm has finished work. So thank you very much. And obviously you would create a similar course for all of the other bays. And I do have one for bay 1 and I have one for bay 3, but they did go a little bit skew with because I had and I tried to show them, but you know, the key to all this is just to reverse in a straight line, not to turn. Okay, I might show you a drive-through course next, so I'll leave it at that. Ta-ta now.